Now, a time comes, just like the grace message came, and everybody was fighting it, and now it seems to be embraced. Many people a bit throw in grace somewhere, they've embraced it. A time comes when also this message is what? Embraced. But as a father in this thing, we have also to teach you so that you don't go after some other things, you don't lust, and you enter and you connect with the wrong things. But also, I have also to tell you some of these things because some of the witches uses these things. Okay? So as I teach you deep stuff, I'm also adding on your arsenals so that you can fight better. Are we together? Now, you will appreciate that most civilizations, okay, they have trees and they use trees. Okay? Just like the tree of knowledge of good and evil was forbidden, they use forbidden trees to like rule over their nations or their civilizations. Okay? For example, you can't talk about most occultic groups, Illuminati, Freemason and all that, and you don't talk about the Kabbalistic tree, the Kabbalah. Yeah? And I spoke about that a bit, which basically reveals the government of Lucifer. Give me those images. So, the only funny bit is you find that sometimes even in the church, some of these teachings follow the order. Give me the images. So that is the Kabbalistic what? Tree. Yeah? So you find that many things are in there. Even when you look at Israel, as much as you pray for it, the Israel of today is not the Israel of back then. You have to understand that. In fact, much of the setting up of Israel, was by the Rothschild. You know the Rothschild is one of the families of the Illuminati. Most of the things that even you go to visit in Israel are not exactly where they were supposed to be. Some of those things were shifted. Okay? So there is deep-rooted occultism in the nation. Okay? Because the devil always loves that. He always loves to do things that look like Jesus. That's why even the one that is mimicking Christ is called the Antichrist. Okay? You get what I'm saying? So, now that you've gotten that, okay, there is that one. But then there is another one called the Yggdrasil tree. Okay? It comes from the Norse mythological and is embedded in many of the occultic things like the elves, the dwarfs, and gods and goddesses of the Nordic hierarchy. So some of you have seen these things in movies. You've seen those things where, they are showing you something about Christmas and you're seeing some fairies with things flying and bringing gifts. So some of you don't know where these things come from. Okay? You have to understand that when I talk to you that there were creatures, pre-Adamic creatures, that existed before Adam entered the garden, and I showed that to you by scripture. And I told you it explains some of the mysteries of like where Cain gets his wife. Some of those creatures today are the creatures that have become mythological creatures. Okay? So this is the Yggdrasil one tree. So sometimes you can just find a nice picture of a tree and you're like, I like this tree. But most of these things embedded in deep occultic what? Stuff. Okay?